Yo, what's going on? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Where's everybody at? It's prime time. We are live in prime time. Um yeah, so continuing our daily streams going forward. So popping in, and tonight I'm not going to stay long because tonight is book club night. So right now we're reading Settlers. After Settlers, we're going to read a couple of essays, including one of my favorites, Harry Frankfurt on bullshit. We're going to read that next. And I have an idea for another essay we can read. Um, one being Lester Bang's White Noise Supremacist, I think. And I would like to read The Context of No Context, but that's a really hard read. It's by George Tro. But yeah, if you want to be a part of all that good stuff, if you want to be a part of the book club, go to patreon.com/ champagne sharks. And if you become a member of patreon.com/ champagne sharks, in addition to getting access to the um, voice and chat Discord, which is where we conduct the book club and movie nights, right? What we do is we read a chapter of a book out loud, then we chop it up and build on it. Then we read another chapter, then we chop it up and build on it. And if you can't participate, if you're a patron, you still get the option to listen to it after. So patrons, they not only get a chance to participate in the book club and movie night, but if they miss it, they get a chance to listen to us read the book and break it down. So it's kind of like an audio book with a discussion group built in. So it's pretty cool in that respect. And same with the movie night. You get a chance to vote on and participate in watching the movie. We stream the movie live and in real time and then discuss it. But if you miss that, you're able to just watch the movie yourself and listen to it afterwards. And all that comes from being a patron. So go to patreon.com/ champagne sharks. Choices are $5 a month, or get a 10% discount if you buy the whole year at once. So you can do the whole year for $54 of membership. And you get newsletters, show notes, and all this other stuff, and other perks. Uh, Also, over 200 back episodes of the main podcast. So there's that as well. I mean, it's a great deal. Less than $16 a day, like Sally's, less than 16 cents a day, like Sally Struthers used to say, less than a cup of coffee a day. But um, less than a candy bar a day, less than just about anything. It's not that much for the value you get, but there's going to be even more perks being added to it. But another thing is, even if you are already a Champagne Sharks monthly member, consider upgrading. You know, it definitely helps us subsidize the show and invest in it. And we wanted to start doing video essays. So that's something that your contribution really helps with, because we're going to have to hire a video editor. Like, I want to do actual video essays, and that's going to cost money to get an actual video editor to do real deal video essays. So yeah, I don't have the time to learn to do that from scratch. Like, those days are over. We're just way too busy building the podcast and stuff like that. So yeah. um and what else? What else is important? Yeah, usual stuff. We're gonna talk about stuff like we do every day. Share what's on our mind, talk about different ideas and concepts. And as usual, if you enjoy the value we bring, consider hitting the dollar sign in in the live chat. That's gives you the option to do super chat or a super sticker, and that helps support us and reinvest into the show. So consider doing a super chat or a super sticker. If you do a super chat, then we will read your chat and put it guaranteed on the screen, unless you're using it to troll, like, calling us names and stuff. Then you will not. But I mean, who knows? You give enough money. If you put $100, then maybe we'll let that slide. We can even trash talk the host. But why do that? Why take the risk? Just behave and tweet something. I mean, comment something productive when you super chat, which everyone does. So that's not even an issue. Yeah, so definitely hit the super chat if you're enjoying the stream. But the other thing is you can you can PayPal us at champagnesharks@gmail.com, or you can Venmo or Cash App us at Champagne Sharks. So just throwing all that out there, that's all the housekeeping. Just to let you know, those are all the ways you can support us. And again, it's up to you. If you think that what we offer is a valuable service that has enriched your life in any way, by all means do that. If not, at the very least, and this is last but by far not the least important, it's important. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you um cannot or will not give a donation to help us, not even like calling it a donation. I feel like donation is something for nothing, like contribution. If you don't want to give us you know payment for the services we provide, we do greatly appreciate, and this is very important too, sharing. Let people know about this YouTube channel. Share your favorite videos. Encourage your friends, families, enemies to subscribe. Hit the like button, comment. All that stuff helps the algorithm. All of it helps get discovered, because we are trying to get 5-digit subscribers this year. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers in 2021. And we're trying to stream every day until that happens. And yeah, so like, comment, share, subscribe. If there's 50 people in here, then 50 people like. It helps us more than you know. And again, share, share, share. And being said, with all that being said, let's get down to business, shall we? Shall we get down to business? I think we should. Go to champagnesharks.com to get every link related to the show. And that's in the bio right there. You can check it, but that's the most important thing you can do. Uh, B, B. Scott said, "Let people pay to troll if they want." Yeah, you know what? We'll have a trolling threshold. If you spend more than $50, then you can troll. Yep, Wit of the Slave would be a good one for the reading group, but I just feel like it wouldn't go great out loud. But maybe it'll work. Hey, Alex, how you feeling? Yeah, my shilling game is on track, man. You know what? I spent a little time on Clubhouse, and that caliber of shill, iron sharpens iron. That's another thing you get if you become a patron at patreon.com/champagne sharks. We give out Clubhouse invites to that social media app where we have live chopping up sessions with the um, fans. So definitely check that out for sure. Yeah, so happy new year. Oh man. My condolences. My condolences, Alex. Alex says his father died. Sorry to hear that. Very sorry to hear that. Hey, KCast12, how you doing? Yeah, I sorry to hear that, but I appreciate you in this time spending your time with us, man. Really do. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, PB/Hirotsu? Yeah, my dad. I'm thinking your dad might have been in the hospice. My dad died on morphine machines. That was not the move at all. So I know what that's like. I feel a kind of way about that personally. I'm gonna pour myself some water. Don't mind me. I had to turn the sound off because some people complain about sounds of water, drinking, and eating really bothers them. So that's for you. Now, one of the things that I was hoping to get contributions for and eventually get is I've been watching this guy, Kevin Samuels. I don't know how many of you guys have seen Kevin Samuels. Hey, Landrasil. Hey, Outlook. How you guys doing? But that guy, Kevin Samuels, man, his camera. I don't know what kind of camera he has. I'm gonna try to reach out to him or something and find out. But his streams look like a movie. I mean, he definitely is not using a webcam, that's for sure, because you can see behind the laptop. But yeah, I was checking. Yeah, Kevin Samuels, he gives like dating advice and stuff like that. And then people seem to watch him to see him tear apart like the female callers. He tears apart the guys sometimes too. He roasts people. I mean, it's not my personal cup of tea, maybe because I'm married, I'm not into like relationship advice and all that stuff, but I can see the entertainment value in it, and he has a very polished delivery and product. I can respect how he's built up his audience and entertainment value he does and all that stuff. But I gotta say, the production value, man, that thing looks like a movie. I need to find out what that is. The next thing that I want to get, because like I say, the money you guys contribute goes back into um the streaming technology. We've been buying software and different programs, upgrading that cloud storage and all that stuff. But man, I want that camera. That thing just looks really, that whole setup looks nice. Yeah, I want to do that whole nine. I got a home office. You guys see me tweet from it sometimes, but a lot of times I end up here in the living room where the couch is. But yeah, I like his whole official setup, the cameras. I gotta give him. What's the stream subject? There's not really a subject today. I haven't figured it out yet. It's just Happy New Year. It's lots of shilling. Starting my uh New Year shill. I'm honing my shilling game. But yeah, we do a daily stream. So gonna start doing streams by candlelight. If I get that camera, maybe like that camera can do low light like crazy. That camera looks great. Uh, like man, I am unapologetically envious of that camera. Yeah, but we're gonna be having a lot more guests because we're going to have guests for the live streams as well for topical stuff as well as the usual guests that we have on the podcast. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. That will be great. Um, yeah. So what to talk about? Well, I'm not gonna be on long because at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 40 minutes from now, we're gonna be doing book club night over on the Discord. Yeah, with some other patrons, but just wanted to talk about some stuff. Um, one one thing that happened recently that I found, uh, our favorite influencer Obama is added again. Um, well, before I get to other stuff, before I get to the Obama thing, I wanted to open up with this thing real quick, and I found it pretty good. But um, do y'all know who Fran Liebowitz is? Oh, shilling for myself, man. Self shilling. Yeah, yeah, but Fran Liebowitz is someone who's old time. I'm not exactly sure what Fran Liebowitz does. I'll be honest, but I know she was very. She's an author, public speaker, and occasional actor. I know her mostly for her social commentary. She does a lot of social commentary. She's kind of known really for that, but she's a very interesting thinker, and uh not everything she says is great. I mean, some things she says have not been great, but I saw a video by her that I really liked. It was over on YouTube. First things first, let me just check the setup of something. One of one of the apps that I got is a virtual driver app. And okay, cool. I have to make sure the setup of it's okay. Yeah, so we've been buying lots of software and apps to help with the podcasting and streaming, and now like my computer's like a mission control center. I have like so many dials and things to look at now with the stream, and I can like pipe in audio from all these different sources. It's kind of crazy, but I owe it to you guys and all your support. So thanks for that, and we're gonna keep continuing to do stuff like that. Yeah, she's a public intellectual. That's a great way to put it. Yeah. Yep. I totally stole your TV. Guilty. Hey, Walter, how's it going? Um, yeah, so I want to share this thing by it that I thought was pretty good. And I feel like it touches on, I think it's from like a while ago. This is an old documentary, but it was going around, and I felt like this so captures a lot of like what we're talking about these days on the podcast and the stream, especially with content versus works and the influencerization of everything. I think this might have been from like 2001 or something, but it's still pretty good. But check it out. Let me know how the volume is.
Everyone talks about the effect that AIDS had on the culture in the sense, I mean, people don't talk. Everyone talks about the effect that AIDS had on the culture in the sense, I mean, people don't talk about it anymore, but when people did talk about it, they talked about like what artists were lost, but they never talked about this audience that was lost. When people talk about like why was why was New York City Ballet so great? Well, I mean, it was because of Balanchine and Jerry Robbins and people like that, but also that audience was so I can't even think of the word. I mean, Suzanne Farrell went like this instead of this. That was it. She might as well just kill herself. There would be like a billion people who know exactly every single thing. There was such a high level of connoisseurship of everything that people like this were interested in, of everything that made the culture better. A very discerning audience, a very, an audience with a high level of connoisseurship is as important to the culture as artists. It's exactly as important. Now we don't have any kind of discerning audience. When that audience died, and that audience died in 5 minutes, literally, people didn't die faster in a war. And it allowed, of course, like the second, third, fourth tier to rise to the front. Because, of course, the first people who died of AIDS were the people who, I don't know how to put this, got laid a lot. Okay, now imagine who didn't get AIDS. Okay, that's who was then lauded as like the great, artist. Okay, if the other people that hadn't died had been alive, if they all came back to life, and I would say to them, guess who's a big star? Guess who has a Sean brother? Guess who's like a famous photographer? Wait, they would like fall on the floor. Are you kidding me? Because everyone else died. Last man standing. Okay.
I love that. I love that a lot. Yeah. And I thought what I made was a good point. Like, you can't have the rise of the cornballs on the screen and on the stage rather the rise of the cornballs in the audience. Like, there is a very declined sense of audience. And it made me think of the people who say, shh, let people enjoy things. Like, whenever somebody complains about anything, everything is let people enjoy things. Yeah. It's like, it's it's really interesting how that goes. And um what's interesting about a lot of those people to me is that a lot of those people who respond to everything with, shh, let people enjoy things, they don't even like people who enjoy things too critically. Like people think, oh, these people are just cheerleaders who like everything. But those same people, I noticed this: if you rave about something but you overthink it, like if you say, oh, Star Wars is great because it's a great Jungian analysis of the shadow and really um explores the idea of Nietzschean duality and in such an accessible way, those things, people get upset. They'll be like, shut up, it's just a space movie about wizards for kids. Like, overthinking is usually more readily associated with being critical. So most of the time, these people are bashing so-called haters, but if you praise too intelligently as well, I've noticed this in the past, those same people will surprisingly get pretty mad at you. um they will get really mad at you, and what these people are, they're not really just about being positive. They're about not thinking, and and not having any standards or kind of connoisseurship. It's like, yeah, it ain't that deep, or turn your brain off. It has nothing actually to do with being positive or not being a hater. It's just that they associate most overthinking with hating. But what these people want to do is just consume. They want to do two things. They want to consume and anesthetize. And anesthetize is like the verb form of anesthesia. They want to numb themselves. And one thing that happens to people when you have people who are incapable of deep feeling and deep thought, then they end up looking for pseudo feeling and pseudo thought. And what I mean by deep feeling, right? Uh, the fantasy of something like Superman isn't just that he can not feel pain, but the real crazy fantasy about Superman is that a bullet can be shot at him, or a missile, and he feels nothing. But having sex with human ass Lois Lane, he can still feel pleasure and bust a nut. That's not really how pleasure and pain works. In the real world, the inability to feel pain corresponds with the inability to feel pleasure. And what I mean by that is, if you've ever had anesthesia on any part of your body so that you don't feel pain on it, uh, you will know that, like, I've had block anesthesia where my whole arm was numb, and you could have set my arm on fire. I would not have known. But I couldn't then feel like a massage on my arm from my wife either. Like, you can't numb bad stuff without numbing good stuff. So people who are afraid of ever feeling anything unpleasant, or thinking of anything too deep because it's unpleasant, they lose their ability to have a depth of good feeling too. So these people are unable to really, like, the one thing that you will notice about people who get accused of being overly critical or overly thinking, when they like something, they have a depth of enjoyment for it, or a rapture for it, that is very different than the let people enjoy things person. Like, the person who just enjoys things, because this is what happens when you lose your ability to feel deeply about anything, as far as negativity or feeling pain or unpleasantness. You lose the ability to feel, like I said, good about anything. But what you replace that good feeling with is anesthesia, numbness. You reach the point where you replace feeling good with feeling numb. And then you start convincing yourself that being numb is the same thing as feeling good. Like, these people want to chase the illusion of never ever feeling anything bad, or never thinking about anything bad. And by doing that, uh their desire to chase only good feelings, which is not possible. Chase you can't only experience good feelings and not experience bad. What they end up doing is they end up chasing anesthesia, and they mistake feeling nothing, that is feeling numb, with feeling good. So a lot of these people will be fans of all this stuff, but all they really are is just consumers. And what they're calling a good feeling is, and what they're calling is fandom, is just the anesthetizing effect of consuming pop culture that they like. Right now, what's interesting about a lot of these people is if you notice when you they're not totally numb or devoid of emotion, because many times you will see them get angry at you for over criticizing something or for over analyzing why something's good. And it's like a drug addict. Like people who are really hardcore unrepentant drug addicts, life has been too painful for them and they've given up on feeling truly ever feeling bad, but also the price that they've paid for never feeling truly bad is to never feel truly good either. You know, to just chase numbness, to just chase the feeling of anesthesia, and they become kind of emotionally and spiritually numb and flat. But the one thing that they still develop a very strong pseudo love for or a pseudo anger about, the only thing that they can actually develop strong feelings for at that point is the anesthesia. So what happens is they can't really feel really strong highs, really good, and they can't really feel really bad when they're on the anesthesia. But if you threaten to take away the anesthesia, that unrepentant drug addict will get up and fight. They'll find that energy. You know, they will or do anything that they can still muster up passion for or drive for is getting the drug. The only thing that makes them get a semblance of real anger or rage is the threat of having the drug taken away from them. And that's what a lot of these consumerist people who love like DC and Marvel movies and who go crazy over young adult books as adults and get mad at anybody who dislikes a TV show or anything they don't like. They get mad at the idea that someone's taking away their anesthesia. They're not getting mad in a way as I love, because if they're mad in a way of truly loving it, they would take the time to actually debate you on the merits, and they would respect you as a fellow deep feeler, even if you disagree with them, because they understand that without hate, love means nothing. Without dislike, like means nothing. Like a world where no one can dislike anything renders liking stuff useless. Or someone who never allows themselves to feel anything strong, what does their approval mean to you, you know? Yeah, so I really like that clip. I really enjoy it. I think it says a lot. But yeah, a lot of people, we live in a world where a lot of people chase anesthesia, and they've chased anesthesia so long that they've convinced themselves that anesthesia actually is happiness, warmth, good feelings. But the one way you can tell the difference is if you have no room in your life for the opposite side, the shadow side, the negative. If you don't have anything that you passionately hate or criticize or whatever or dislike, the chances are what you're feeling is not really deep love. It's more just it's just a whole bunch of, it's kind of just junk food, anesthesia, whatever. So it's someone said, is this a big old shady attack to you? No, it's not about that. I mean, I don't really remember that, but because whenever I complain about something, somebody says something. But no, it was actually about a Star Wars thing. Somebody was tweeting about how nobody should be angry about a Star Wars movie. And then a bunch of people were chiming in and no one should be angry about a Star Wars movie. But this person was spending time raving about The Last Jedi, you know, and I respond to the person. It's like, um, it's one thing if you're preaching apathy, but you're preaching positivity about Star Wars, proclaiming nobody should feel, and it's like I don't understand the point of a world where people are allowed to feel strongly one way, um, but not the other. It because then feeling strongly one way doesn't mean anything in that case because it's and so forth. And then a bunch of people in the replies got mad at me. One of the interesting things the person said was, the more I talked to them, I realized they only took feeling good and being complimentary about Star Wars to mean being transported back to a time of nostalgia. That's the only thing that they were talking about. So I started realizing, oh, so you're not actually talking about feeling good about anything. What you're actually talking about is anesthesia. You watch this and it brings you back to the days of being. So I actually found the tweet because I feel like giving an example is. No, I didn't have my soup jumu today. Someone's asking if I had my soup. No, because with quarantine, I can't visit my mom. I don't know how to make. So this is what the person wrote. The person wrote, you know what? I don't even care. You know what? I don't even care anymore that the Mandalorian is desperately trying to hug my 8-year-old self harder than my return of the Jedi bed sheets. That was a fun finale, right? So we're talking about the finale of the Mandalorian, and but the depth of his enjoyment of it is it brings him back to his 8-year-old self and his Return of the Jedi bed sheets. So he's not. So I think that's key. The degree to which he's liking it is no deeper than anesthesia. This numbs out like the hard aspects of adulthood, and it's just, which that's your prerogative. But the next thing he says is, I have heard that grown ass men having very serious opinions about the Space Wizard show again. So he's simultaneously denigrating the show while praising it. And I will again remind them that the only reason they care about this show is because it reminds them of being 6 years old. So as soon as you get mad online about it, you lose the game. And then that was so annoying to me because I'm like, okay, just because to you this goes back no further than just numbing yourself and tapping into it's just a glorified toy commercial that makes you think of your youth. That doesn't put you in the position to then bash everyone who has a serious position on it, like, and wants to think about it more critically by reducing them to the same thing. And what you're doing here is you're decrying connoisseurship in general, or decrying thinking or caring about anything. Like, you think that people should only consume things for the purpose of anesthesia, like a drug, and nostalgia is your drug. And he's complaining about, oh, you're a loser if you get mad about the stupid show for kids, but you're getting mad about people getting mad for the stupid show for kids. So how does that make you any better? And the reason is because they're mad at something based on some kind of inner principle, but you're mad at someone taking away your drug and keeping you from being numb. Because like I said before, that's the only thing an addict gets shocked out of numbness about is when they don't have the drug, or when someone's taking away the drug for them. Suddenly, even though this addict who has um, narcotized themselves and anesthetized themselves to the point where they care about nothing, keep them from getting the drug, and you'll suddenly see the ability to care about something that you've long forgotten that they were able to even possess. So he goes, I love Star Wars. It's been a part of my whole life. I have opinions about Star Wars. Some include this stuff. This sucks. I could talk about it for hours. but I cannot begin to fathom ever feeling actual anger about a Star Wars story decision. Like, good lord, get a life. Seriously? But I'm like, you took the time to make a whole thread about this, and you're getting worked up about them feeling anger. So, like, what's really mad is that anybody is having strong emotions because that is going to force him to get shocked out of his high and have strong emotions. And he doesn't want to be a connoisseur. He wants to be a, a addict. He wants to be numb. And to him, other people having strong opinions one way or the other. So he kind of makes clear even his enjoyment is very tempered by a level of apathy and pursuit of numbness. And when I engaged it, I was asking like, how does that make it any, you know? And yeah, so I asked, I was like, I don't understand how you could be so angry about people being angry about the Space Wizard show. Like, if it's too silly and trivial for anyone to get angry about, then by extension, it's too trivial and silly for you to get angry about anybody being angry about. Does that make sense? Like, for example, there's things I truly don't care about. Like, I don't care about the show Barney. I was not the right age for it. I don't um have any attachment to it. It's whatever. So I don't care if they make a grim and gritty Barney reboot. I don't care if they do anything with Barney. But then imagine someone who was a Barney fan um was really worked up about the new Barney reboot. And then suddenly I fly off the handle and I'm like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like, okay, so then you don't not care. Like, make up your mind. Like, that would make no sense. Like, because I truly don't care. I don't care if someone is loving it or if someone is hating it. So I feel like a lot of these people say this stupid they say this stupid, "Oh, it's a like when I critique Black Panther, there was a guy who kept getting mad at me online. He was trolling me and he goes, "Yeah, look at you. I'm getting mad about a movie for kids. I'm making mad about a movie for kids." And I'm like, "You're trolling somebody for days about getting mad about a movie for kids. So how does that make you any better? Like, if this is really a movie about kids that was so beneath you, you wouldn't care that I was trashing it. Like, why would you even get mad that I'm trashing the movie if it's such a juvenile thing? You would just dismiss it. You wouldn't even listen to the review. And there's so much disingenuous stuff like that out there. And I think what he's really mad is that I was forcing him to think or get shocked out of numbness. It's kind of like if you're the drug addict. If you try to get the drug addict, if you do an intervention on a drug addict, you will really see how mad and defensive that drug addict can get. That's what serious critique looks like to them. It's a drug addiction intervention. Yeah, I don't know. This is a good. Yeah, they're feigning apathy. Yeah, but they're not really apathetic. They're numb, which is slightly different. Like, numb is like a pseudo apathy, but numbness can wear off. Like, numbness is the opposite. Numbness is when you feel things so strongly you have to use anesthesia on it. That's what makes it a feigned apathy. And then that's why when you take away a drug addict's drug or you try to do intervention where you threaten to take it away, all that rage comes because that's all the rage that they've been numbing. It's all the deep feeling they've been numbing through the drug, you know? But yeah, this is very true. It's very simple T. They want to control the terms of the discourse and will change the rules at every turn to make that the case. Yeah, and in the recent episode, we were saying what these people's real ideology is learned helplessness. That's exactly what it is. It's the ideology of liberals too and everything. Yeah, and it's funny, I personally am not a huge Star Wars fan. I don't really care so much about Star Wars like that, but I like good art, and I hate anybody who tries to stifle the expression of thoughtful critique, because I think that's the only way we improve. Like this urge to stifle connoisseurship, and it's not that different than drug addiction is a proselytizing faith. If you ever notice, drug addicts hate to get high alone. Drug addicts hate to see people feeling the full depth of life, either happy or sad, because it counteracts the feeling of anesthesia. Like they prefer to be around other people who are numbing as well, and the reminder that real feeling exists risk forcing them to confront their own real feelings, or to realize that their pseudo good feeling is really just numbness, because true good feeling cannot exist in a world or a state in which you're unable to feel true pain. So yeah, so um it's that's just what I want to talk about today. Yeah, so again, this is not about being a Star Wars super fan. I would kind of feel this way if they were being hypocritical about criticism in any regard. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. This is one of the short ones today. And as usual, um, feel free to support us at patreon.com/champagne sharks. I'm cutting this short to conduct the book club, but if you want to do future book clubs, go to patreon.com/champagne sharks. And as usual, PayPal us at Champagne Sharks if you want to support the show, or Venmo, uh, PayPal us at champagnesharks@gmail.com, I mean, but also Venmo or Cash App us if you would like to support us through one of those apps. And last but not least, always remember to hit the super chat if you're enjoying the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the Fran Liebowitz clip and this short discussion. Everybody be good. See y'all tomorrow, and see y'all in the pod. Love y'all. Oh, another thing too is I have been trying to improve my health, not just for the new year, but even before the new year. I've been drinking 100 ounces of water a day. It's supposed to be half your half your body weight in half of your body weight in pounds. I read you're supposed to drink every day in ounces of water. So I'm having about 100 ounces of water a day, and it is hard. I want to ask people: do most of y'all drink half your body weight pounds wise in ounces? Like, because I find it really hard to drink that much water, and I was just trying to figure out what the average person drinks. Because yeah, but I've been polishing off 100 ounces of water a day, so that's this this bad boy times four, and it's been like brutal. Meanwhile, my wife effortlessly can polish off, it seems like a gallon, and she's like a fraction of my size. And I was like, am I a freak or is she? Like I want to know if yeah. So some people do, some people no. Okay, yeah, but I mean it's been pretty good. I feel like it's been great for my skin. Been sleeping like a minimum of 7 hours a night, and taking vitamins again. Lost about 13. No, not 13. Lost about 7 pounds of my quarantine weight, so that's been good. Starting exercise. Um, I just read it. I just read it online. Where I was reading online how much water to drink, and they claim that should be enough, especially when you're. Maybe it's for when you exercise, but I'm gonna start exercising next week anyway, so I'll just keep doing it. Yeah, yeah, but yeah. Take care, everybody. Appreciate all y'all, and be good. See you tomorrow.